All right, everybody, welcome back.
Welcome
Enjoyed
back.
that little clip, little fun little intro. Um,
I'm rocking with a new setup here. Got a better mic.
yeah,
So
he's got a
hopefully
good
I sound okay.
microphone now. Maybe, yeah, I know you watched it back and said your audio sounded terrible. I didn't think it was that
Yeah.
bad, but
No, I was clear. It just didn't sound good. So anyone in the comments, let me know how I sound.
yeah,
I can turn it up or down. But
I think it sounds compared to what he had, really good. Broccoli from the 99 sucks.
it sounds so much better. All right, good. Yeah, you know what? That's your fault for ordering broccoli from the 99.
I can't remember the last time I've been to that establishment. To be honest
It's
with
not a
you,
bad. You know what? It's not a bad spot as far as
am I
chains
just a
go.
hater?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, big news. We won.
We won. Yeah, war's over.
War is over. We won. I want to play this clip here. I didn't have this pulled up because I don't know. I have about 4 brain cells, but
Snap your W-2
and I gotta
and
listen
file
to
your
an ad. That's pretty cool.
Decisive action to stop the threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran with Operation Epic Fury.
Oh, jeez.
Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You know, you can only do. And we've won.
So much
Let me
winning.
say, we've won. You know,
Let
you
me
never
tell you.
like to
Let me tell you. We've won. It's over. We've won.
say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over. We don't want to leave early, do we? Huh? We got to finish the job, right?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Did we win, or do we gotta finish the job? What's the messaging here? Did we actually win? Or
Hey, I'm gonna send in a a viewer suggested video
sure,
from the White House account itself.
let's do it. But we didn't. Like,
No, we won. It's gone. It's over. Just
yeah, apparently.
the Dow hit 50K.
Oh yes,
and
this
we
one.
won.
Yeah, I saw this earlier. This is what I was talking about the other day. Stuff like this is crazy. Oh, it didn't take me. I don't think it took me right to the video. It's the undefeated video, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
All right, everybody, watch this. Dude, this is insane.
Holy what? 10. It's out of the park.
Oh my god.
Slam dunk.
I can just think of like the White House interns playing Wii in order to get these clips. No, but this is crazy because how desensitized have we become?
Which
in order
one
for
of
this
these
to
was
be
when
funny?
the United States struck the school with 3 Tomahawk missiles?
Oh my goodness, yeah, like 40 minutes apart.
Yeah. I get it, they're trying to like gain the support of young people, but I don't think that's the way to do it. That's like
Hey, whoever told me I should get a beer, got something a little bit better here.
nice. Are
Not
you is
sponsored.
that a paid advertisement?
No, not sponsored, not paid, if only. But
Not graced the opportunity. But
yeah. So hold on, you think some White House like intern?
dude,
you
it's
think
like some
staffer was playing Wii to get those clips.
it's some like fat 25-year-old sitting at his desk picking his nose. It's like, "Oh my god, this is going to go so hard." He's got like crusty fingers and he's making these compilations. And I go, "This is so base. People are going to love this." it's like just is not the same. It's the hype is not there. You're making these stupid videos about war that American soldiers are dying in. When we just got
That's crazy.
so there's 8 confirmed dead, 150 casualties, and in the first attack where soldiers actually died, I just found this out today. It was a lot worse than they said it was. So CENTCOM came out and said, "Oh yeah, there was minor damage." That's when they reported that it was either the first 1 or 2 soldiers that had died, and it ended up being like 5 died in that one attack, and it sent like dozens to the hospital. Well, hospital, but needed medical care, severely wounded. And CENTCOM was just like, "Oh yeah, like they barely got us." It's like, what? Just inaccurate, completely inaccurate.
Yeah, crazy.
And you're posting stuff like this, trying to get support for a very unpopular war. I mean, depends on how much you actually think that polls are accurate, but the polls do not support this. Majority of people don't think this is a good
they're
thing.
literally like Black Ops 2 montage clips of the war going on. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I think we've never really seen anything like this in terms of the footage that we're getting in real time. I think X is suppressing it, honestly, because the first day the footage was insane. There was so much, and now it's like you're not really seeing that much. It seems like it's kind of just
seeing,
like
you
the
were seeing
slop.
like people get blown up
Yeah.
early on. Now it's mostly like planes, vehicles, and such.
We're
boats,
and we're seeing like they're prioritizing the CENTCOM footage, and we're seeing a lot more of the propaganda messaging now is what we're seeing. Like, why war is good now. That's what we're seeing. That's what I'm seeing.
So much
at least.
winning. So
Yeah.
much winning.
Yeah, so much winning. We keep trying to plan a positive episode. It just never comes to fruition because nothing's ever really
Nothing's
that positive. I think the most important thing to talk about is the gas prices and what's going on with the gas prices.
Yeah, the prices of oil. Well, give a little backstory to why the price of oil has gone up, and then we can go through it. Why you're pulling this up? I think it's just so conveniently timed that all this is happening right after the State of the Union, where he was bragging about the prices of everything going down and how much winning we're doing. Yeah, look at that. Almost $100 a barrel compared to.
So
I mean, this is the highest it's been.
we
since...
hit 110 on March 9th. I think the messaging here is really strange because we've seen how much the market fluctuates just based on what Trump is saying, what the United States is saying regarding these prices. Like it's like not entirely, but there's a huge swing in the motion of the price when Trump says, "Oh, we've won," like this when he told the ships to run the strait, right? Like I don't know if the oil market thought that, "Oh yeah, now a bunch of ships are going to be coming through," and so, the price went down expecting that more oil was going to flow through there. And then it turns out that multiple ships got struck with either undersea drones allegedly or some sort of projectiles. There's a US flagged tanker that was struck and on fire. The strait is virtually closed. I think it's fair to say that. People can say, "Oh no, ships are still getting through. You're just not hearing about it. They're turning their transponders off," or they're trying to change their names to like a Chinese flagged type name because Iran's more friendly to the Chinese, so they think that they might be able to get through using that method. But Trump literally was like, "Yeah, show some guts, go through the strait," and because he had previously said that the United States is gonna, provide insurance to these boats that are no longer being insured because it's too much of a risk for the boat insurers to give these guys policies when there's a big chance that the ship's gonna sink going through the strait.
Yeah, didn't you say that the Navy's like no longer escorting these ships through?
Well, Trump made the claim that the U.S. Navy is going to support escorting vessels through the strait a few days back, and now the Navy is saying that it's too risky and unsafe for the U.S. Navy to support vessel escorts. But they've received a ton of requests for escorts. No surprise, right? Like the ships want to get
Yeah.
through. But it's like you're making these claims of our capabilities, but they're just like completely inaccurate. We can't actually fulfill these escort duties. It's not possible. We're gonna go through the strait, and then what? They're gonna open fire on the U.S. Navy. It's like regardless of what sort of technology that the U.S. Navy has to defend against that, it's like a turkey shoot.
There's only so much you can do when there's a, like you said, either a missile or a torpedo coming at you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was just reading the comments. But we can go over some of these
Iranian
comments.
ship we sunk and then it left the sailors to drown?
Yes.
War
So,
by the way.
yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I ended up forgetting last week to talk about this, but this is a big story, right? So, like the International Code of Conduct, when one vessel sinks another vessel, is that you go and search for survivors and rescue survivors. That's like Geneva Convention Code of War. And when the submarine sank the Iranian, I think it was a frigate off of the coast of Sri Lanka, and they just left everybody there. And the Indian Navy had to come out and look for survivors. I think they ended up getting like 50 people. But like that's, and you know, it kind of sucks to be.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
that's not the type of country that, or the military that you want, you know, kind of leading your nation. That's kind of,
well, here's the
shitty.
thing, like, does the military even want to be doing this?
Yeah,
or are
who
they just
knows?
following orders?
Who knows? I think as like, I don't know. So there hasn't been submarine combat since the Second World War. I feel like at some point that maybe these guys are itching to actually blow something up, and that's no slight to the Navy guys. They're obviously not the ones who necessarily make that decision, right? They receive commands, right?
Sure.
But I don't know if it's them saying, like, they know the conduct that you're supposed to go, and I assume it's a higher level guy that's saying, like, no, you just go back and like resume your mission, you know? Like we don't really care about the survivors, which is messed up entirely. That's just my opinion, is pure speculation. I have no evidence to support what I'm saying. I'm just trying to think through it logically, like why the Navy wouldn't go and rescue or at least look for survivors. Because we all saw the video. The thing it literally split the ship in half. You know, I can imagine that it was pretty bad in terms of loss of life on that boat. But
Yep.
like that's not how the military is supposed to operate. ICC also has a warrant for BB. yeah, they sure do.
Did you keep seeing? Did you see all those AI generated clips of BB like saying that he was killed?
I see
it
stuff
was
about
just flooded into my Twitter
about BB Itmar Ben-Gvir, allegedly like they're saying that he got killed, and there's like no actual claims to back any of this stuff. There was claims that they struck BB's house or something. I mean, he's not going to be there. He's in some bunker in Germany apparently. Or maybe he came back. Actually, I might have seen a video of him from Israel, which seems entirely stupid on his part to be in the country. You know, it seems totally on par for him to just completely abandon his citizens in a time of war and just flee to safety. I don't know if he's had a public appearance since they claim that he died. I thought he just, I had just seen a clip on YouTube of him, but I don't know how recent it was. Like, we don't really know what could be pre-recorded and whatever.
Grok said he's alive, and I believe everything Grok says.
True. Grok is 100%. So, I mean, as I guess we would consider ourselves average Americans, like, how does the price of gas affect us, and the price of natural gas, right, and oil? Like, going forward, how does that affect everybody here?
Well, I can tell you how it affects me. Is I recently, about 3 weeks ago, purchased a vehicle that has a 26-gallon tank. Needless to say, slightly bad timing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's going to drive energy costs up. It's going to drive gas prices up. I mean, the majority of our power infrastructure is still fossil, and it's mostly natural gas. So you can imagine when these utilities have to purchase gas, it's going to drive utility prices up, energy prices. So, I mean, egg prices probably somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I was listening to some interviews with some more informed people on the subject about the role that oil and natural gas plays in manufacturing and basically making almost everything, right? It's like any sort of production worldwide that from a place that receives their energy from that area of the Middle East, it's like they're going to be affected and prices are going to rise.
And here's the thing that most people don't think about is, most of our textiles and products come from overseas, but everything is made from oil. Every single thing you touch on a daily basis is made from oil. Saw something today that said gas prices will be this bad or worse till at least mid to end 2027.
Was that a Department of Energy estimate? I can't remember.
Do you know how many barrels we lost on that tanker?
No, I don't. Anyway, I think so there were some claims that the U.S. flagged ship was not a tanker. I mean, I'm not an expert. It looked like a tanker, and it looked like there was an oil slick on fire in the water. I mean, that could have been fuel. Who knows? I haven't really gotten any more information on that, but clip. What clip are we talking about? I should find the clip of that U.S. tanker that's on fire. I probably reposted it like 10 times. Saw so many different variations of it. Okay, here we go. Just pull up the browser. All right. This is the moment of impact. God. That's crazy.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! انهدام نفتش امریکایی در محدوده شمال خلیج فارس.
I'm not exactly sure if the guys on the boat have anything to do with the attack or they're just filming it. Kind of seems like they might be involved. They're on like a go fast boat.
You ever seen the Shane Gillis clip where he's talking about like the U.S. military versus like these Middle Eastern militaries?
No.
Where he's talking about how he sympathizes with the Middle Eastern military because they shoot down like one Jeep and they're like, oh, and they're going crazy, and then like the U.S. will go with like a Black Hawk and just mow down a town, and they're just like target down, and they fly out of there. It's like, it's funny, but it's so real, and so that's what I think. I mean, we've talked about this before, but that's kind of why I see an issue with the drone warfare. It's just so impersonal and just desensitizes the entire process of war. Like, war is supposed to be gruesome and not enjoyable. Not saying drone strikes are enjoyable, but it's like at some point it just becomes like a 9 to 5, you know?
But that's like that's the entire thing about the Russia-Ukraine war. I mean, and like both sides of that conflict are just throwing drones at each other all day. Like they're just sitting in like a bunker or a room somewhere, flying a drone out with a bomb attached to it and flying it right into another guy or flying it into a moving car. It's like, regardless of what you think of both sides of that scenario, right? You got to kind of think that's just, it seems like a really messed up way to fight a war. I think it's just because of our historical perspective, though.
On the other hand, you have to consider that like the morality aspect only gets you so far, because you sort of have to keep up with the technology of other countries, right? So if we,
that's a fair point.
For instance, if we as a moral country decide that drone warfare is immoral, and someone like, not like pointing fingers, but someone like China doesn't care, if it ever came to a war between us and them, it's like you have to compete with the times, unfortunately. Unless you had like some additional, you know, global consensus that war was to be conducted in person, which would just never happen. But
yeah, I guess this leads me to another question of how important do you think it is for nations to follow international law, whether it is like Geneva Convention during war, or just agreed upon laws of things that you can and can't do. Like, as a country that is supposed to be of a high moral standard, like, when we kind of fall down and stoop to these levels of these other countries that are doing things that we don't think should be done, are we, like, I don't know, losing our morality?
Well, I think it is important, but it's also, I think, rules of war is kind of an oxymoron. It's like, how do you, you're doing arguably the worst thing possible. I mean, you're there to kill people, and there's suddenly rules involved.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I disagree with them. I think international rules of war are important. Like, Geneva Convention is important. And I think there are, I guess, less moral things you can do in war. But again, it really only works if everyone follows it. Like, you remember back in, what was it, like 2012 with the beheadings when that whole thing was going on?
Oh, yeah. And they were sending all the videos to the U.S. media.
I mean, we would never do that, but it's like, well, okay, well, how do you expect, again, I'm not saying I agree with this, but how do you expect our country to follow these moral rules of war when you have countries like that literally publicly beheading people?
See, I think this is like such a nuanced topic to think about, right? Because we see these countries like Iraq and Afghanistan and the militias within them, like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, like, we see them sending videos to the United States media, chopping heads off of American prisoners, and we think, oh, like, our natural reaction, right, which is a fair reaction, like, these people are morally inferior to us, like, they don't understand morals, right? And it's like, there are things that we never hear about that the United States participates in, that it's like, can we really be the judge of that? Like, one of the reasons that we went into this war, right, is this claim that we've been at war with Iran for 47 years, right? Like, or they've been at war with us. They've been attacking us. And it's like the issue is so much deeper. But it's like this specific example, right? So when Saddam Hussein was fighting against Iran in the Iran-Iraq war in the 80s, right? He received, I don't know exactly how to put this, but chemical weapons components, or the knowledge to build a chemical weapon to use on the Iranians from the United States, whether it was CIA. It's not likely that it was directly military at all. CIA had a lot of involvement over there. But these chemical weapons killed hundreds of thousands of Iranians. What was I can't remember what the chemical was. Oh, it was a nerve agent. I can't exactly remember what it was. But hundreds of thousands, some estimates even reported as millions of deaths of Iranians, right? So the United States plays a role in that. And then we come and we say, oh, they're just chopping the heads off of these people because they hate Americans, they hate freedom, right? That's what we always hear. We never hear about, like, the role that we play in mass slaughter of the people that live in these countries. It's just kind of like a skewing of the moral perspective. It's like,
yeah,
our government claims to be so moral. Well, you and I know that our government isn't moral.
Yeah, I mean, we're hopefully going to get into that with some conspiracies that we used to.
Yeah.
Conspiracies backed with some evidence. But before we get too far off topic, I want to bring up a pretty good point that was in a comment here. Who enforces international law? Like, that's such a good point. Is you can't. It never works to just have some mutual agreement. Like, the only reason. Oh, was it sarin gas?
Sarin. Yep.
Sarin, yeah. Okay, but yeah, the only reason that local laws work is because you have a law enforcement. You have local police that enforce the laws, or you have national police that enforce laws. Who enforces international law? Because as far as I know, there's no real international law enforcement. You have your international police, but that's just law enforcement overseas.
Sorry, I'm reading this.
So, yeah, no, it's
but
fine.
I know.
But
yeah, keep going.
yeah, I guess. I mean, long story short, if you just base it off of a mutual agreement, and there's people that don't agree with it or don't follow it, I mean, is it really like a true international code? No, it's just something written on a piece of paper somewhere. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we stoop to that level, but we enforced it during the Nuremberg trials and that stuff, but now if we're breaking laws, then who's going to check us? Yeah, I mean, that's another point.
We run the show. Who's gonna stop the United States, right?
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to, like, do you think the capture of Maduro was moral, or I don't want to say like legal, because I'm not saying we necessarily like broke a law, but do you think that followed the Geneva Convention? Did that follow like the proper process to capture a foreign leader?
I think
like there was no congressional approval for that.
No. A good way to look at it, and I think that I've said this many times before on the show, is that think of this as if another country were to do this exact same action, or like, you know, kidnap our president, right?
An act of war in a heartbeat.
Act of war, and we would like eviscerate their and just raise their country to the ground, no question. But when we do it, it's we have to uphold. They got the guy on like U.S. crime charges, not even international law. So he's gonna be in jail forever just because that's how our government operates. But
yeah, but that was so much winning. There's a whole lot of winning.
Yeah, I have this article pulled up just to somewhat back up my claim of the United States aiding Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons ambitions. So, I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I encourage anybody who's curious about this and the history of Iran to actually look this stuff up. It's not like out of nowhere they just all of a sudden started hating America. Like they chant death to America, death to America. I think that's also like just the way that Arabic is translated kind of comes out like different than how we speak in English. Not necessarily defending those chants, right? Like I love my country. I don't necessarily love my government, but
there's a difference.
Yeah, there's
that's an important distinction too.
A difference.
You can certainly love your country and not like the government. Like there are plenty of Republican, conservative-minded residents of Canada that love Canada, but
yeah, like you can be patriotic of your own country, but not love that your government is going and bombing a school full of children, right? Like I think, and some people, it's weird. It's like you can't be a patriot without supporting our war. You have to support our troops. It's like, don't get me wrong. I support our troops, and I don't want any of our troops to die, right? Not at all. But like, I don't think that whoever's in charge of this whole operation, the commander-in-chief, should not have sent them over there. No, opinion.
But this goes back to the reason we're there. And again, I'll make this argument 10 times out of 10 that we are there solely to protect little brother. Mm-hmm. Like we are big brother in this
war.
Yeah, we're protecting little bro. And even our own military does not want to be fighting another country's war. Mm-hmm. Like we saw that with what was his name? The one that they broke his hand in the courtroom. You saw that clip, right? Did we play that last week?
Yeah.
If not, we should play that. But I forgot. Sorry, I can't remember his name. But it's like, yeah, that's one example. But I mean, I personally know people who are in the military that are like, we got no business over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. This video, you can hear his hand break.
What's the fight for Israel?
His hand. Oh.
Yeah, you can hear it. I hate it.
So you can hear them saying, his hand's stuck in the door. Listen. His hand's stuck in the door. And they're yanking on him, and they broke his arm. And they got this guy in charges of assaulting police officers. Or assaulting security officers. He's not assaulting
Meanwhile-
anybody. He's just trying to not get yanked out of there.
Meanwhile, we can have a member of Congress in a government building with a
But with his IDF
with
uniform
a
on.
IDF with an IDF.
I think
uniform
who's that?
on.
Brian
Yeah.
Mast. Loser. Loser. Sorry, I might have had the volume turned up too, but I mean I wanted to hear what they were saying too. It's like he was going in there and he was yelling. I think he was yelling "Free Palestine" and
Now, granted,
we don't wanna
I-
die
I
for
have
Israel.
I have seen that you technically aren't supposed to protest in uniform.
because
Like, not
it's
saying that makes it
right,
okay.
right,
but
but-
I am.
because you're like supposed to be representing your
Yeah.
country, right? Still, like it's still whatever. It's wrong.
I wouldn't call that an excuse.
I watched a video and it was from 2024. I don't know if you ever saw this terrible video. A guy went in front of the U.S. Embassy. Where was it? Was it in Israel or Lebanon? I think it was Israel. He lit himself on fire because all the stuff,
I think
all
I
the
did
stuff
see
that
that.
he'd seen regarding what was going
Yep.
on in Palestine. Crazy. I think before this conflict, I would have never considered myself someone to even think about that part of the world. But it's been really interesting learning the history of the whole conflict and kind of seeing how the propaganda has shaped the United States worldview. That's not to say I don't know. I guess some people would equate that with being like, oh, you're a liberal now. You're a liberal now. It's like, to be honest, Trump just came out saying that we can have transgender surgeries as long as the parents approve of it. So what does that make him?
So let me ask you something.
I don't support his policies, to be honest.
This is a point brought up by a friend of mine. I want to get your thoughts on it. So, it's kind of a two-parter. The first part is, did you follow politics up until this most recent 2024 election? And then the second part is, did you anticipate all of these actions from Trump going into the election?
So I've been following politics probably since I was 15.
Yeah, but I mean closely.
Closely?
I mean,
I was following them pretty closely during high school and college. Yeah.
okay.
Even when maybe it was more so when I could actually vote. And I think
Sure.
I would consider myself someone who kind of got sucked into the right
I'm
versus
just-
left of politics.
Yeah, I'm just
but
saying, for example, I took a break really from following politics.
I think I've taken
from-
I've taken numerous breaks for sure.
But do you think, did you anticipate all of these actions from Trump going into this past election?
No, because
Did you anticipate his presidency would be like this? Because I guess I'll give this some background. I don't think Trump had a bad first term. I think he had, from my own views, think he had a pretty decent first term. I thought he was entertaining. I loved watching the debates, even though he's an idiot and says some things he shouldn't. But I feel like this is a completely different presidency from what we saw from 2016 to 2020. And I just want your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's
And
definitely.
I guess I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I would definitely consider this as a completely different presidency. Although I think my perspective at the time is completely different than it is now. So maybe
That's another good
I don't.
point, yeah.
I'm not saying that the first one was bad and I just didn't see it. I'm saying that my perspective was different. I think it was we were also, I don't know, kind of starstruck in a way. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it. I'm not starstruck by Trump.
Blinded?
I think we were starstruck by the idea that there was somebody who wasn't a career politician who was claiming that he was going to make changes that people seem to support, at least half the country. And I
Sure.
think a lot of people saw that and liked it.
It was attractive. It was like an attractive.
Yeah, it was attractive. I mean, whether or not you agreed with the policies, I think you can admit that having someone who was never a politician say something that at least one side of the aisle really likes is you could see why that would be attractive. Going into the second one, and the rhetoric is, the Epstein files are a hoax. No new wars. We're gonna cut taxes. We're going to bring prices down, but actually affordability is a hoax. Democrats made it up. And then when these things do happen, like when the Epstein files do come out, like, oh, I'm responsible. I'm the only reason that they came out. You know, it's like, so he's not allowing himself to lose or take accountability for things that don't go his way. I think looking back, that's something that's kind of the way that he's always been. If he loses, he blames someone else, and if he wins, or if somebody else wins, he'll take all the credit. You know.
Sure.
I think I think it's, you know, it's like I don't want to vote for just another slimy politician.
Would you vote for a Democrat if let's just say, for instance, all right, let me draw a picture for you. If you got a Democratic politician who did not receive AIPAC money and who promised on mass deportation similar to the Obama administration, and it wasn't like overly radical Democrat, you know, would you consider voting for a Democratic candidate?
I don't think that Trump right now is really any different than Obama in 2008 through even Obama in his second term. I don't really think Trump's too different now. He talks different. I mean, he's got like a lot of the same type of people in his administration kind of giving him advice. Like, oh, bomb this place, bomb this place, bomb this place. I mean, Trump broke Obama's record for most times that Somalia has been bombed in a single year. And broke.
That's a crazy record.
Record holder was Obama, so I think I'm trying to think of changes that are like different between the two. I guess Trump claimed that he's gonna try to do something about giving the healthcare subsidies to the people instead of the insurance companies. Mm-hmm. Obama rallied to give them to the insurance companies. But it's like that's kind of the two sides of the same coin, because the socialized healthcare, it's socialized either way. It's the government funding it. So I don't really think they're too different. Trump is the first president to actually come out and say that he was for gay marriage, right? Whether or not you think that's an important issue, that's like we're not gonna sit here and say that Trump is the most conservative president ever. I think
sure.
There was a comment that I wanted to address. It says I agree, but
we're getting behind.
So we were talking about the difference between his first and most recent current administration. Sorry, most recent. I agree, but it's only different because this time around he's a sycophantic admin that will do anything he says. If he had that the first time around, it would have been close to as bad as now, in my opinion. It's honestly surprising to me that it didn't happen the first time around, because he had war hawks like John Bolton as his national security advisor. Like this guy loves war, John Bolton. And I think I would be someone who would say that his cabinet the first time was terrible, and I'm honestly surprised that he didn't get into more war. Like that points me logically to the conclusion that Trump was more against these actions back then than he is now. I would agree with you that the administration now is sycophantic and they're all kind of whispering things in his ear, and he's just too dumb to actually know what's right and wrong, it seems, or maybe he doesn't care. Like, is that the type of person that we want to lead our country?
At what point does the cabinet become more important than the president himself? Like, do you think we're there in terms of decision making?
See, like Trump's one of the people that if you had a really good cabinet, I think you could do a lot of good things. If you had the right people whispering in his ear and you didn't allow Benjamin Netanyahu to come to the White House 7 times in 1 year, I think you could get a lot done.
But he picked his cabinet.
Right. There lies the problem. It seems he's so embedded in the Israeli lobbying that he's like he claimed this past week that Congress has to stop being so anti-Semitic. Like, are you kidding me? How about you grow a pair? Huh? How about that? How about you grow a pair? Criticisms of Israel are not inherently anti-Semitic. It's a secular government.
It discredits people who are actually anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Like, you throw that word around. We've harped on this topic so much.
It's just
I don't want to get back into it, but
right.
we got some comments to catch up
on.
See.
Frustrating as someone who supported him the first time, especially. Yeah.
Agreed. Yep.
I think the biggest reason that people didn't see this coming is that we all looked at him as this sort of hyperbolic personality and didn't take a lot of what he said seriously.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good point. especially like that goes back to my statement as he was entertaining. It's yeah, you never really knew whether what he was saying was sarcastic or like genuine, especially in the debates when he was preaching policy. Yeah, I guess it gets to a point where you don't know what's real and what's not. And I guess we're kind of finding out now what he really meant. I mean, it's tough. Second terms are tough because I feel like you don't get the full detail of the candidate that you did the first term. Like I feel like maybe it's because I wasn't following politics as close, but I feel like I saw much more of him in his first term.
Yeah. Seems
than
like
I did leading up to the second.
I think I would also like an age consideration, right? There's a big age consideration. Like he's not young. He clearly does not have the energy that he used to have.
Yeah, I mean, there's also part of this is due to the fact that he's purchased, but that's beside the fact.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, crazy to think about. We are supporting Israel with this war in Iran, but Israel has also been killing people in Palestine, and U.S. didn't really say much. Yeah, I mean, why is it okay for us to do it and for our allies to do it, so-called allies, but when someone else does it, like, I mean, it goes back to like the capture of Maduro. Like you said, if someone did that to us, it's, you know, the end of the world. But, you know, whatever we do is okay.
Well, I think
that plays into effect with that. I mean, that plays into international law as well, international war laws. Like, it's okay for us to do it, but someone else can't do it.
Yeah.
And vice versa. But
to address that comment
give your part on that.
About Palestine, I think the United States didn't say a lot because they were directly involved in supplying the munitions. They supply the munitions, and we supply the tax dollars that allows extremist settlers to, you know, take over villages in the West Bank and kill settlers. Like, they literally walk around with the settlers walk around with M4s and just kick people out of their homes. And they say that this land belongs to us, basically. I mean, we supplied them with how many 2,000-pound bombs so that they could drop on Gaza? The United States is pretty silent in that because they're complicit in it, and they helped do it. You know, there's not all the blame can be placed on Israel. Like, the United States was like, yeah, this is a war. This is a war. Like, we're going to completely annihilate that place.
Yep.
Let's
keep going down. This is great.
I think he's declined significantly in his ability since 2016. That's assuming that he had an ability then.
Hold on. We miss him. I agree that this cabinet was terrible from the war perspective, but for any other perspective, it's nowhere close to as bad as now.
I'm trying to think of who was there in 2016.
Cabinet.
Who was... I can't even remember the people. I mean, what? That was 10 years ago.
Pull up the 2016 cabinet.
Okay, what? This isn't telling me anything. Cabinet? Okay, here we go. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo is the one that, like, I remember. Mattis, I kind of remember. I don't remember these Secretary of Defense guys, really. Like, I think I was just I was kind of young at the time, you know? Like, I wasn't... Bill Barr, Attorney General. I remember because he was, like, the guy who said that there's no evidence that Trump that Trump won the election in 2020. I don't really recognize any of these guys. What about
Tim Price?
Nikki Haley. Oh my God, what a loser.
Nikki Haley.
I don't like Nikki Haley.
I can't even read this.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just at the time, I wasn't that into it. Just kind of like a looking back now kind of perspective, which is, I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to do, but like there were plenty of I think that's a good point about like the war stuff. From the war perspective, they certainly had war hawks back then. It just seems like now they're all kind of in agreement on how to proceed. You know, like there's no shortage of people in the cabinet that support Israel and will not do anything that they want.
I want to talk about this comment here. Agreed, and our allies should hold us accountable. I absolutely agree. However, don't we think that we should be holding our allies accountable? Like, can you honestly tell me that we had reason to enter this war? Like, Israel being an ally, should we not have held them accountable and saying, hey, like, all right, maybe it's time to chill out? And this goes back to the peace deal, which they broke on multiple accounts. And we never held them accountable. We kept giving them weapons. We kept, retrying a peace deal. How many times did it fail? I mean,
we're
still
technically under a
today.
ceasefire now, right? Like, is Israel following the ceasefire? No. They're currently I guess there's not one with Lebanon, but Israel is pushing further and further into Lebanon currently, and it's gonna, I don't know.
At what point do we hold our allies
1.2 million
accountable?
people out of their homes? Like their next planned ground offensive? Like, that's insane. I don't think Israel just does what they want, basically.
Yeah. Don't really think a lot of allies are stepping up in to help Israel. Trump's America first is out the window. Agreed. I haven't seen anything that's been America first in the last 2 years, year and a half.
Yeah.
But maybe the what was it? The prescription medication.
Trump RX.
Trump RX. Yeah, maybe that's not so bad.
But
I mean,
see,
if that works out to how they say it's
that
going to, but
he's talked about that, and like he's had that one example on his thing, but he hasn't really provided a plan as to why that's gonna work. He's kind of just saying, "Oh, the prices will be lower because it's attached to my name." Like, is it gonna be government subsidies that are lowering the price? Right? That would be the only thing that makes sense. If you're having subsidies, pay the difference. And does that feed into the insurance costs that we're going to be paying, like higher premiums? I don't think it's just as simple as, oh, we get lower prices, priority pricing for the United States. Like, it just doesn't necessarily work like that.
Yeah, how does that work?
It's kind of like not an empty promise, but it's like we don't really know anything about it. He's kind of just saying it.
It's similar to all these, like, oh, the price of this has dropped 250%.
Yeah,
and this dropped 600%.
Price of gas dropped 600%, and then it went up 800%.
I think he's just hoping that you take him at his word.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people do. I think that
trust but verify. Trust but verify is like one of the main things that needs to be understood in this.
Yeah, this is the problem. See, like, and even in that rally that he did in Kentucky for Ed Galbraith, it's like, I saw a picture of the people in the crowd, like when he was just talking, they just looked miserable. It's like they looked like they were paid. It's like they were cheering a little bit in the beginning when he came out, and then they were just like zombie phased. It's like the energy's gone, the hype's not there.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like,
gonna lower.
You think this guy's gonna topple Thomas Massey, who just happens to win every time because the people of Kentucky actually just like him that much because he's principled?
Here's my thing with I like Thomas Massey.
That's the thing. There's so much money. There's so much money against them. And he admitted in an interview, he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna win. There's so much money.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the backing yet. Like, I think he's gaining it, daily. I think he's gaining support.
He just needs to go harder on the tweets.
Yeah, I know. Maybe by 2028 he'll have the backing.
For president, I don't know if he's gonna have it. You know what? I had a thought, and I think somebody else suggested it. Maybe it was you. That there's a chance of
we got to talk about that, but go ahead.
Tucker running for president, and I want to know what your thoughts are on that possibility. Or do you think he even would do it?
No, was I talking to you about this the other day? I was talking to someone about Tucker running the other day, and I think my stance on that is he has so much dirt from his past endeavors, speaking on Fox and now his own show and Twitter. It just seems like someone that wouldn't be able to get through the publicity aspect of being president.
Probably wouldn't want to either.
Someone's going to find dirt on him. He would have to be, he would be drugged through the ringer. He would be, I
I'm
just
curious.
don't see that happening.
I'm curious though.
Plus, with all the supposed anti-Semitism stuff going on these days,
right.
like
But let me ask
all
you a
those
question.
claims. But Go ahead.
So, like, he's probably the #1 political commentator in terms of popularity right now.
next to Larry,
Yeah, next to Larry Loomer. What more could they like? I don't know. I guess my question would be, why isn't that dirt coming out about him right now? You know, like
I think
he's
it's 'cause
having a
he's not
huge
running for
influence
president.
on. Yeah, I guess that's fair, but he's having such a huge influence on politics.
but like no
I
one cared
guess.
about the Stormy Daniels stuff until Trump started running for president.
Hmm. Yeah.
And like even when Biden was running, you saw the clips of him talking about anti-gay marriage and his arguably racist clips, like whatever. No one cared about that stuff until he started running for president.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see any promising candidates, at least for 2028.
Did you see Trump endorse Jake Paul? That was a comment, but we got to pull up that clip if you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Trump
Trump endorses Jake Paul, YouTuber.
World-class
Jake,
boxer.
you got to come up. Come here. You got to come.
All right, let's restart this.
Jake, you got to come up. Come here. You got to come.
Holy,
This
like
guy had guts.
it's such a forced,
And he walked
generational-
out with a broken jaw. Anyway, this was not the greatest fight, but you know what it showed?
You've been accused
Oh,
of
sorry.
Jake, you got to come up. Come here. Anyway, this was not the greatest fight, but you know what it showed?
Doing
Lots
dirty.
of courage. Come here, Jake. Say it.
Lots of courage.
Yeah, what Mr. Trump has taught me is
All of his pit
courage. We
stains.
never back down from a fight, even if they're much bigger than you, much bigger than you. And I feel all the
Those are
local
crazy.
Kentuckians
Not the
feel
right
the
suit
same
color.
way. You guys have that fight. You guys have that swag. There's a lot of young kids in here. The future of America. I grew up just a few hours away from here, and my dad taught me to fight. And all of our voices matter in America. And I'm never afraid to speak the truth, and I know you guys aren't.
Dude,
we're
he
here
speaks
representing
like
the
he
United
has to drag
States,
his
and
finger
just a
across the
blessing. Thank
page
you, Mr.
when he
Trump. We
reads.
need
Like,
more factories. Like
that's
this
so funny you said that.
thriving
I was
all over
talking
the
to some
country,
friends
and I-
today, and they sent this clip into a group message, and I was like, man, his CTE is really coming out in his speaking.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the type.
quite literally said that.
you know,
Yeah,
know,
is
he's
he
gonna
who
be
you
the
want
one
running the
to
country?
bring that here to us. I know God is with us. I know He wants us on the right side of history, and everyone here has to do their part. And God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless.
See, he's not Christian, he's Jewish. Trump's got us, God's got us. You don't really believe in any sort of God. You're basically like, God's got us, Trump's got us. Like, you're putting him on the same level. Like, you're a moron, basically.
Roll a clip saying Trump is the first Jewish president.
Oh, yeah.
Roll it.
Let me find this. But,
And
like,
he agrees.
do you think Jake Paul would ever have a shot?
Absolutely not. Not a chance.
Oh, my gosh. Turn this clip
Listen,
off.
any person that was on a Disney Channel show should not be running for president.
True.
And these people do like Israel.
Hold on. And he loves Israel too.
It's true.
Like, 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president."
It's true.
Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive.
Oh, my God. This guy is so stupid.
Did you have to ask about that?
To-
Come
to- This guy has a show on Fox News, okay? This guy is so stupid. Just future political endeavors. It might be, yeah.
Yeah, Tucker got fired from Fox, but I honestly think it was one of the best things to happen to him.
Oh, yeah.
He's done so much better on his own.
It's like on every episode of his show, he gets like 10 times the Fox viewership. It's insane.
But
Is that guy hammered?
Is
Mark
that guy
Levin?
hammered?
No, Mark Levin is
Mark
just
Levin.
stupid.
He's
He has
just an idiot.
He's like an 80 IQ boomer. He knows nothing. We should like, I kind of want to find some Mark Levin clips show you some of the stuff that this guy says. See if he posts any videos of himself. Like, we can do the classic Mark Levin tweet browsing, right?
We've done this before.
Today on Liberty's Voice, I expose one of the most revealing ironies in politics today. Tucker Carlson's own father, Dick Carlson. Like, he's just, like, going after Tucker. Like, all they do is go after Tucker. Like, look at this guy.
I mean, I think they go after Tucker because Tucker's probably one of the biggest political threats. And I say threats as in against the...
Here, let's listen to I want to listen to this clip. Let's just do an impromptu clip.
Is understood by man right here on Earth, and everything else must be smothered. Ideology. If everything's a forever war, that means you can never take military action to protect yourself, because everything might lead to a forever war.
Whoa. Protecting ourselves from what? I ask.
Whatever that means. And yet, on those occasions when you need to take military action or go to war, if you don't, you'll be in what? Forever without liberty. So these are phrases that are thrown around, that are thrown out like, oh.
So
hang on.
Yeah, what's his claim there?
Yeah, but his claim was if there's a threat against you, then you need to take action. But, I mean, we already played this clip last episode, but the Marco Rubio clip says there's a threat against Israel, and we still took action.
Yeah, so it wasn't a threat on our liberty.
It wasn't a threat on our liberty.
Oh, you're a racist, so you can't debate issues that are intended to cut off a discussion, the use of knowledge, the use of what you see. So the president used prudence to enter the war, to create a situation in which we were going to deal with Iran.
Create a situation.
Virtue, wisdom, temperance. He used all those things the way you're supposed to. And those who oppose him are running around with slogans. They have absolutely no other avenue on which to deal with the crises that he was dealing with. And so these are ideologues, some of the hard left, Marxists, some because they support the regime, political jihadi Islamists, and some because they're isolationists. And while they claim to be America first, they're not America first. They're a different form of ideologue that we've seen in the 1930s and we see now. Which will
see that we've seen in the 1930s that we see now, right? He calls everyone a freaking Nazi. This guy is so stupid.
They might be able to develop bombs that can reach us by 2078. That's exactly why we had to go to war in 2026. We're just getting 50 years ahead.
Mark Levin used to be an anti-Trump guy. I want to see if I can find any clips.
I'm not going to read that, but that's so funny. The most recent comment.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh.
Here we go. Let me watch this clip.
I'll tell you what. It's really sleazy out there. I'm a big boy. It's really sleazy out there.
I think this is his radio show.
You know, a couple of years ago, the Senate Conservative Fund, this is a group set up by Jim DeMint, set up to support conservatives against the establishment, against Mitch McConnell. And a couple of years ago, and by the way, very successful. They supported Cruz, and I don't remember everybody they supported, but very effective. And they backed Cruz for the Senate. I backed Cruz for the Senate, too. I think before them, but I don't know who they backed and what they did. And so, a couple of years ago, they contact not just my publisher, I think other publishers. They say, this Liberty and Tyranny book, Levin's top book, we would like to buy old copies of that book and use them to promote membership. So they did. I wasn't involved in it, but they did. I had no control over it, but they did. That's perfectly legitimate. It's done by a lot of groups and with a lot of authors.
Allegedly, in this clip, he's going to talk about how he's against Trump. So
again, I'm not even involved in it. But the book was 4 or 5 years old at that point.
Let's see if he actually gets
So it doesn't affect any lists. It's not bulk buying or anything of that sort, as far as I know. Whatever money I got from that, which money local name, got this obscure.
There we go.
He's a hatchet man for Donald Trump. So he puts out this obscure article from this obscure website that used that to claim that I'm bought and paid for by the establishment. How so?
True.
I don't know. But I'm bought and paid for by the establishment. That's why I back Cruz.
Now that Trump is bought and paid for by the establishment, Mark Levin loves him.
Yep.
Number
We
one.
can talk
It's
about
funny how
why.
that
And
works,
in the
right?
article, they
It's funny how that works because you could pick apart every politician, political commentator, podcaster, news anchor, whatever you want to call them, that has shit on Trump in the past, and then suddenly, I mean, it all ties back to AIPAC, and you can disagree with me if you want, or you can argue with me on that, but it's seemingly they all get along now, right? And there's a clear discrepancy between the MAGA and the non-MAGA that, guess I don't know how to word this. I don't know. I'll leave it at the fact that I believe AIPAC is the center of it all. And somehow everyone that's getting paid by them and everyone that's supportive is all best buddies now. Proceed.
You want to see if I can... I'm trying to find some good content in this clip here.
try and promote themselves. It's truly pathetic. Now, I back Cruz, and I'm going to continue to back Cruz. But here's what I'm going to do. As a result of what the Trump supporters have attempted here, particularly Roger Stone, I am not voting for Donald Trump. Period. So I want to congratulate Roger Stone. And if anybody has a problem with that, Donald Trump, you can talk to Roger Stone. These bully, dirty tricks, Nixonian tactics, they're only going to backfire. They're only going to backfire. So count me as never Trump.
Really, buddy? Really?
There's been too much of this, folks. Way too much of this. The crap in the National Enquirer against Ted Cruz. The attacks on Michelle Fields. I mean, I can go right through the list. Too much, too much, too much. At some point, you got to stand up to it. At some point, you got to stand up to it. I do not like bullies, and I never have. So I will not be voting for
He's
Donald
arguably
Trump,
the
and
biggest
he can
bully of
thank
them all.
Roger Stone.
Yeah, well, we all know what Trump was saying back when he was running in 2015 about he was never going to support wars, never going to make the same mistakes that we had previously made in the Middle East. And all, Ben Shapiro didn't support him then. Mark Levin didn't support him then. Now who's on the train? Ben Shapiro saying that the name Epic Fury was such a good name, such a good name.
Pull up Ben Shapiro's bolt-ons. Pull him up.
You know he's selling shirts with his eyebrows on him now. Let's watch a little bit of a Ben Shapiro clip. We never do this. Come on.
Okay, you have a live shooting.
I can't stand listening to him anymore. Listen, I used to be a big fan.
Come on.
Reported that the FBI has warned police departments about the possibility of an Iranian drone attack on American soil. According to the FBI, quote, as of early February 2026, Iran allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California, in the event that the United States conducted strikes against Iran. The LA Sheriff's Department assures the public that everything is under
Look at them things.
That's gonna
control, that they've deployed more resources to houses of worship and other prominent locations. Governor Gavin Newsom says that drone issues have been top of mind for him.
As it relates to drone strikes, we've been aware of that information. We've been working collaboratively through the SOC, which we established right after the war began.
What do you think about Newsom for president? What do you think his chances are?
Oh, you know what? That's such an interesting topic you brought up, because that was another one that came up with me today. I haven't liked him in California. I just don't think he.
It's
I don't think he's
hard
a good
to get
politician.
somebody. Yeah, I don't really know what he believes in either. I don't think he's super clear on what he believes in. Kind of just a shell from the sounds of it, from what I've heard.
Data Operations Center, working with the Office of Emergency Service,
That
but also
vocal
working
fry,
locally to make
that's
sure
not
we
gonna- that's not gonna work for me.
transmit any information that we have received, and we're aware of that. Drone issues have been always top of mind, and we've assembled some work groups specifically around those concerns.
President Trump, too, says that we are watching what Iran is doing, that we've got our eyes on the terrorists.
Have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside
tired,
the U.S.
man.
right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with his stupid open.
Shut up. Shut up.
You wanna? I also used to at least respect Shapiro, but since probably the 2020 election, I think Shapiro, Crowder, Knowles, Rubin, etc., are all grifting hacks. I think Newsom is probably going to be the Dem ticket in 2028. I don't know who else could compete in terms of popularity at the moment.
Give Cammie a chance. She can come back.
Yeah, she could totally come back. I miss listening to her.
Yeah.
She great speaking voice. Yeah. Who else? I wouldn't. Maybe not in 2028, but I would be very surprised if Mamdani doesn't try to run at some point.
AOC? What about AOC?
AOC?
She would get would get annihilated on stage.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think she's
Who
smart
else?
enough. She might be able to hit on like the anti-Israel talking points, but in terms of asking like specific targeted questions, I don't know.
Could we get like one last Trump debate where it's Trump and AOC? Like 2016 Trump though.
Yeah, that would be funny. I think unfortunately we're far and away. We're past that. It's no
Nah,
going
man, he's
back
getting
now.
a third term.
Yeah.
He's getting a third term.
Yeah, what the
Yep.
hell is all that talk? Like they all know that he can't get a third term. Are they just like doing it to make people on the left mad?
It's just rage bait, yeah.
It's also like there's bigger stuff to actually focus on, you morons. What were we talking about? Yeah, like you know what's crazy about Shapiro's show? It's like it's so well produced and he gets like no views. Like his viewership is he has 7 million subscribers, right? Like, I don't know, he's got all these videos. I guess that one has 500K, but he's got some that has like 30,000, 20,000. It's like
Pull up Tucker's page.
he has less. Go to browser here. Tucker's got 5.3. It's got 800,000 on the one from last night. 1.3, 1.4, 1.7, 2.2, 1.1. Like this is insane. 4.3, 1.3, 275, 800, 2.6, 1.8. Like this is probably one of the most insane runs. Like we had
comment saying
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos in a row of over 1 million views.
Comment saying Trump would get washed by AOC, or current Trump would get washed by AOC. 2016 Trump would get crushed talking policy, but he'd 100% shit talk her off her game and make a spectacle of it.
Yeah, I think
can't read, but
not that AOC is smart, but Trump's views on policy
his
now seem
strong
entirely
point-
incoherent. Like he doesn't know what he thinks or doesn't know what he's saying. He
yeah,
just
but
rambles.
his strong point was never really about policy. It was about calling Chris Christie fat and saying Hillary should be in prison.
But I think
which
some
I
of that
still-
was like
still
his
agree with, but
his like being new in the political landscape, right? Like he had the gas was in the tank to be able to do all that stuff, and it was a spectacle. Like people saw it and were like, "Whoa, we've never seen that before." And now it's like, all right, we know the antics. Like we kind of know what you're gonna do. There's not really any surprises. So we actually want you to like talk about policy, like what you're gonna do. Stop just like saying random words. I don't know if the insults don't hit as hard anymore. I guess.
no, it's because everyone expects it now.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think.
All right, you want to
Shapiro,
any
Crowder, Michael Knowles. They didn't get back to work, Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is kind of been posting some things on Twitter. It makes me think that the Daily Wire is gonna fire him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to. It's just like real quick, and then we'll end it here. But not like nothing too crazy, right? But just like I want to go back to some of his. Like he's making fun of Lindsey Graham, right? I'm with Israel.
All the anti-Seminites, to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying
Is this
day.
dude not a
They're the
traitor
best
or what?
ally we could hope for. So we have a commander.
How is that not treason?
That is.
who I
That
think
is.
Ronald Reagan plus.
I'm with Israel. Israel. I think he's making fun of he's reposting libs of TikTok though. These are all about Lindsey Graham. I want to find one where he's like actually talking about the war. I guess he just posts so much. Like, oh, here, I guess this is a good one. Marching through the world and clearing out the bad guys is a very clear articulation of the neocon warhawk mentality. It's also been rejected by conservative voters for the last 10 years at least. Lindsey Graham wants to drag us back into it. He has no children, doesn't care what kind of harm it brings to future generations of Americans. I like this one. I would hope that even the proponents of this war can agree that Trump should not be listening to this effeminate asshole who's never done a single thing in his career to serve or benefit actual Americans. Like, that's true, right? Do you think Ben Shapiro agrees with this stuff? I can't imagine that Ben Shapiro agrees with what Matt Walsh is saying. This is
Matt, they're fighting for Israel.
I want to hit one more point that one of the comments made me think of earlier about morality and war and like international law. So it's a known fact that the United States military has been using Anthropic's Claude AI, integrating it with their systems. To what degree, it's kind of unknown, right? But like the investigation came out that the United States used the data which led them to choose to strike the location where the school was old data, right? It's like, I'll pose this question to you. What is international law if the United States is using AI to decide where to strike, or at least like choose target points of where to strike, and then of course leave the decisions up to the actual person pressing the button?
Yeah, but there's next to zero human interaction involved with a strike like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like say it was found out that AI was the reason that this data was outdated and that they ended up striking that school. Then what?
Well, let me put it this way.
That's
right?
just complete negligence, I think.
It's like if you have a self-driving car and it gets into an accident, are you liable? In the same way that, okay, can you claim AI was the reason for this accidental strike?
Right. I don't think we're ever gonna find that out.
No, it would never come out. But that's a good point that you make there.
Well,
and honestly, I mean, using old software for this when we're literally targeting planes and vehicles that are either moving or were there, for a few days is crazy. I mean, I don't even know if that's a valid argument.
Yeah, so like the comment says, there was like
with the amount of satellites we have, you can't
right. Like, how do they not know that location is no longer a base?
Right.
And then you got all these like super pro-Israel, pro-war veterans coming out saying, "Oh my God, it's 100% not a Tomahawk missile." They're like showing the image of it being a Tomahawk. They're like, actually, this is an Iranian Tomahawk copy. It's like, all right, buddy, why would the Tomahawk shoot their own school? Like, sorry, why would Iran shoot their own school? You say, oh, well, they're trying to make it seem like the U.S. did it. It's like, well, see, all evidence points to the U.S. doing it, and the Pentagon did an investigation that found that it was their own missile, and they hit it 3 times. It's like, yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like, if it's a self-driving car, but if the United States military is purposefully employing this AI,
no, but my
this
point being
language model,
is even in a self-driving car, like the person driving's to blame, whether you were piloting the vehicle or not.
Yeah,
I would argue, like, you still have control over it.
Well, we know that Israel used various AI softwares during their onslaught in Gaza. It's programs such as Lavender and this other program called Daddy's Home, where it would literally wait until the father got home, like it would track his location and notify whoever's watching the software when the father got home. They just bomb the whole family.
That was the whole thing behind this school attack here is between I think the first and second missile was about 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea is that, you hit it once and then you wait for response teams and for crowds to show up to help, and then you hit it a second time.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you,
according to the data, this is before Iran even started their retaliation. So it's like, what do you say to that? It's like Iran started the war by shooting a missile at their own school. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree. AI is the end of us.
Yep.
100%. I think I truthfully, in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is cool. you use it for college assignments,
it's cool
whatever.
Cool to help you on your homework.
Yeah.
But it's not cool when it's choosing people to kill.
I don't see any benefit. It's taking jobs, first of all. It's depleting our water supply. It's driving the cost of energy up. It makes listen, I'm all for capitalism, but the only people benefiting from it are the creators and owners.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say in the long run that the general population does not benefit from AI. It's also just making people dumber.
Yeah.
Like, it's making people dumber. Like I said, people use it for college and people use it for daily activities. It just becomes you rely on it. It's like a drug. You guys ever seen the Trump Gaza AI video worse than the We video?
Oh yeah, this one. Here, let's play it.
Oh yeah, this was from a while ago, right?
Imagine being able to build an app.
Don't care.
What wasn't this from a while ago?
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing this and was like, dude, this is so like insensitive.
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy.
Look, we have the
but
flag of the United
Riviera
States
of
behind
the Middle
it.
East. This
Not
could be
that
something
one.
that could be so bad.
No.
This could be so magnificent.
Look at his colors.
Oh my god, man, that's terrible. That's so
Wearing
terrible.
the colors of his people. Anyway, you want to wrap up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Before we wrap up, I just want to say thanks to the comment section. Thanks, Caleb, for being so active. Thanks for the support. And episodes like this are fun.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Love the questions. Love the interaction. It's great. All right, everybody. Oh my god.
Thanks for tuning in.
I had Dire Straits playing that entire show. I was shuffling through various songs.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't get the
It's okay, we got it now.
reference. Yeah, we'll play it off. We'll play off the podcast with it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next week.
Yep. Hopefully, maybe the war will actually end next week. It's very unlikely, but I guess there's a small possibility, right?
It already ended. Did you not see?
Oh, right.
We
won. We've won.
Yeah, perhaps we'll do a positive episode next week. Not likely, but maybe we'll do a conspiracy episode or something.
Yep. All right, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Catch you later.
I am the candidate of peace. I am peace. People don't believe that.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them.
We do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. The Iranians are clearly not very good at war. Perhaps they should follow President Trump's lead and give peace a chance.